Hey guys, welcome to Lions Den Investments and Reviews. My name is Casey, and in today's video I just wanted to talk about pivoting as an investor into other assets that are going to allow you to make profits as the stock market ends up coming down, which I think is very certain possibility. And I say certain because right now the Dow Jones is overvalued, extremely overvalued. We're up around like 28,000 points on the Dow Jones. And I just think that we're due for another correction here going into the election. So with everything that's going on as far as the geopolitical side of things to monetary policy from the Federal Reserve, to all assets across the board, it's very important an investor and as an employee to be able to pivot during these hard times that we're going through. So with that in mind, I want to talk about getting into blockchain projects. Like if you watched a couple of my previous videos, I was talking about the need for blockchain, the demand for it from corporate America to the banking systems, and this is on a global scale because I think what we're in for is one of the largest wealth transfers in human history, and you want to be on the right side of that transaction. So with that said, today I'm just going to talk briefly about Bitcoin. Right now the markets are down on cryptos, and Bitcoin having dominance over that market is pulling all other cryptos down with it. Now, a lot of people who are not familiar, not familiar with cryptocurrencies or blockchain as a whole, they maybe don't understand it, or just this is their first time really looking into investments as a whole. They see Bitcoin going up and down, like thousands of dollars up and then thousands of dollars down, and it gets people on edge. People don't like volatility, but I'm here to tell you, if you want to make money as an investor, volatility is good, okay? And what I've got here right now in front of me is a chart on Bitcoin, and I just wanted to show you what's happening right now with Bitcoin and the overall crypto market. So on the right-hand side of the screen where I've got my cursor, you can see like all altcoins are down, pretty much everything's in red, and a lot of that is due to the fact, again, that Bitcoin has dominance over the entire market cap for cryptos. So when Bitcoin goes down, you're going to see a lot of these other projects go down as well in price. Now, all it is a price. So don't get caught up in the whole price factor of things, because you have to look more long-term as an investor. See, there's a difference between investing and day trading. Day traders are more short-term, so they're going to look at like 4-hour charts, daily charts, maybe a weekly chart. But if you're in this for the long haul, you want to look further out, okay? And right now, this is just a 3-hour chart. If I switch it over to a 4-hour, you can see we're going down as well. But these are short-term time frames, and there's several different ways you can capitalize on markets going down. One of those is to, again, just think of it as long term. And if you're already if you're already invested in one of these assets, you don't want to panic. You don't want to sell when the markets go down and you're in a loss. Because the only time you really take a loss as an investor is when you hit that sell button. Okay? So as long as you're not hitting that sell button and you're in it for a long haul, it's going to rebound just like any other asset. Bitcoin's been proving that since 2009 or 2010, and it's withstood the test of time within the last, I would say, decade. Okay, so even though you'll see these $2,000-3,000 price drops in Bitcoin, it ends up rebounding, and it goes into a new bull rally. Right now, we're still in a bull rally, so just because you're getting a sell-off here on Bitcoin doesn't necessarily mean that it's headed to zero. So don't panic. If you want to, you can dollar cost average in. That's what I like to do a lot of times. So I'll look at these opportunities when the price drops like this as just a an opportunity to buy at lower prices. And be thankful right now as an investor that you have that opportunity to still get in on this stuff while it's making its contractions and dropping in price, because here I would say probably in the next 10 months, you know, you're going to look back at some of these prices and wish that Bitcoin was still around like $10,000. Um, and then of course, you look at all the other altcoins, you're going to wish that some of those were down in, $20 range, 3 pennies, 10 pennies, because some of these you can buy it for pennies on the dollar. And that's right now. But I just wanted to talk about that briefly because, again, people panic, they hit that sell button, and then they they start seeing a rebound a little bit, so they'll jump in when it starts going back up, up in price a little. They'll jump back in and buy back in, thinking it's going to go higher, and then it just turns around and it continues its trend downwards. Um, so remember this too: your best friend is the trend. Okay, so the trend is your friend, and just to show you a little bit of a technical analysis real quick, you can see the trend was upwards on Bitcoin, starting back in like July 20th of this year, and we made a nice little rally all the way up to this point here where it broke the support. And I call it support because that's what it is. This line here is a support line. You can see the price stayed above that support line all the way up to September 2nd. Okay, and then we broke support, and now we're falling down. Right now I've got support down here at $9,949. So I would call that probably a bottom for Bitcoin as far as how low the price will probably drop. Don't quote me on that because these markets can change at a whim's notice. Again, like I said, they're volatile, and you want to look at volatility as a good thing because that's where you make a lot of money. So if you want to know how low Bitcoin could probably drop, I would say just rough estimate would be around $9,900, $9,985, somewhere around there. But I've got another platform that I'm using too right now where I short Bitcoin, and I can make money on the way down as Bitcoin drops. So right now this blue line that I've got drawn in here is where I've got the my sell trigger for a short position on Bitcoin, and I've got that around like 10,500, 10,480 bucks, right around there. I'm not going to get into shorting today and talking about the platform for that because that's more advanced. That's for people who are willing to take on a little bit more risk. And again, back to what I started the video out talking about here with pivoting, is when you're pivoting, you need to look at your tolerance for risk too, because sometimes you're forced into higher risk assets because you're not getting the returns that you normally would, say like on U.S. Treasury bonds or stock, U.S. equities, that kind of stuff. So to give you an example, like back in March when we went into the pandemic crisis, you saw the stock market roll over, start heading lower, and it scared a lot of people. It shook a lot of weak hands out of the market, right? Well, those people were shaken out because they're not getting a return. They're losing money. They end up panicking. They hit the sell button. They end up losing money. But then what? A lot of these people were looking for other assets that were going up during the rollover on the stock market. So that's what I'm talking about with pivoting. Smart money's really good at this. They'll get out at peaks and then they buy on the lows. So again, when you see stuff like this where Bitcoin's dropping in price, if you're a smart investor, you'll follow the smart money, and smart money will always buy. When you've heard this quote, when blood's on the street, that's when you're going to see the smart money come in and just buy up everything for at a lower price. So it's a good way to look at it when you see price drops like this. It really doesn't affect me. But I see a lot of people that will panic and they'll start thinking, in their own head, like, I gotta get out. I'm losing all this money. But don't think that way. So I'll end it with that. This video, I'm trying to make it fairly short. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I'll shoot more videos on investing and like different strategies and just trying to get a grip on your psychology and emotions, because that's a big part of investing, and a lot of times that can be your worst enemy. Okay, so with that said, guys, hang in there. Again, don't panic with Bitcoin. It will make a rebound, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.